Alright, boys and girls, it is Q&A time. We've had many requests of this. Me and Will never actually sat down and done a Q&A together, so this is going to be the first of its kind. We posted this photo on Undialed TV, and if you don't follow that account, go follow it right now. It's just at Undialed TV, and we repost stuff, so all you do is hashtag Undialed. Yeah, and you'll get to see great stuff like that and gnarly tricks. And anyways, so there is 1,484 comments, which is gnarly. So we're just gonna go through them. We're gonna switch off. We'll see what comments we can get.
Here, I'm starting at the top.
Alright, well, you already started.
Yeah, I'm already like so deep.
Alright, so I'm gonna start at the bottom. Will's gonna start at the top, so we kind of like
start like just midway. Just find a spot. Just find a spot, and we'll just go from there.
I just saw one that said "You are gay." That was the first one I saw. Alright, are you me first? Alright, go for it.
Alright. So, Colleen_dosed078. Would you leave district for $50,000? For all you guys who don't know, I've been riding for district scooters. Well, I do ride for district scooters, and I have been riding for district scooters for the last 3 years. And for $50,000, of course, I would just give the owner like $1,000 and be like, yo, that's why I'm dipping out. Have a good vacation. And he'll be like, all right, would you?
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything.
I would. For 50 grand. If they're throwing down 50 grand, they're throwing down 50 racks for me to ride for a company or leave a company, no doubt, of course. Call me a sellout if you want, but I guarantee you, once you have your own place, paying for your own rent, you'd be like, oh yeah, definitely.
50 grand does sound nice.
50 grand sounds nice.
Alright.
But not trying to say that I don't love you, District. District, you're the realist.
Will, have you ever ride park?
I guess I have another question. Will, have I ever ride park? Yes, I have ride park before. I ride skate parks way more than I ride street, so I hope that answers a few questions.
So that means I get 2 questions, right?
If you want. Unless they're all for me.
Oh, there's another one. Was Will always street?
Why do people think I'm like street? Like literally, look on YouTube, Will Cashin street park. Wait, there's nothing because I haven't released it yet. I'm coming out with my Welcome to District Pro, and then coming out pretty soon, and I have a few clips, and they are street, but I wouldn't call myself a street rider because I do prefer a session at skate park over a session on the street, unless I'm filming, and then I feel like I'm obligated to ride street.
All right, what made you think of the name Undialed? This is actually kind of funny. So Will and I were like we had just moved in together, and we were talking back and forth about doing a YouTube channel. So we were very iffy about it. I guess we were kind of like, I don't know, like should we do it? Should we not do it? Like, what are people gonna think? Blah blah blah. And then we were out in this parking lot by our local
Grocery store.
Yeah, we're out by our local grocery store doing manuals and stuff, just like thinking of stupid names, and finally, oh, there was another one we thought of. I don't know what it was though.
There was another one.
It was like, we were going off of like the Strip Clamp, because that was like for a little bit that was like a meme website, and like they made like fake blogs and stuff, and we were like thinking about like, oh.
There was another one that was like neck and neck with Undialed, but we're not gonna say what it is because someone else is gonna start that company.
We had that one, and we're like, oh, that'd be funny, and then finally, Undialed came up because there had been the Undialed magazine and stuff like, or Undialed. There was the Dialed magazine, and we were like, hey, why not? That's the perfect name, and it's funny, and it like correlates to scootering. That's kind of like how we got our name, and it was all from just a little joke while doing manuals in the park. And that question was from Robbie_J417. All right, from Caleb or Kale Booth said, what kind of car do you drive? I drive a matte blue Hyundai Velociter Rally Edition.
I drive a 2014 Mark 6 Volkswagen GTI.
Now you know. Actually, do you guys think we should do a car review type thing? Give you guys the inside of our car and like what our cars look like and stuff. If you want that and you're interested in it, just let us know in the comments below, and we'll knock that out for you guys, no problem. Alright, why did you pick street more than park, Will?
I want to pick my questions. I already answered this. If you could be sponsored by anyone, who would it be? Probably Gucci. Gucci would be a sick sponsor. I would have like a signature, like, I don't even know, like a satchel.
A satchel?
Well, just like they have those little handbag things.
Oh, yeah.
Or a sick belt, that'd be tight too.
And the glasses?
Sick flip-flops with little scooters on them.
That'd be tight, actually. Is that Danmus? Danmus said, what are your favorite bars? My favorite bars are the Scooter Farm Digger bars in titanium. I also prefer them in steel. It doesn't really matter, but I like tie because it's just lighter and a little bit stronger, and I don't bend them in the week. So that's my favorite bars. Actually, how about you, Will? What's your favorite bar?
My favorite bars currently have just been like titanium T-bars. I've ridden multiple brands and they all feel pretty similar. I just like titanium T-bars.
Pizza's done.
Alright.
Ah, pizza's done.
If you could ride one pair of wheels for the rest of your life, what would they be? Hands down, I would ride Eagle Radix wheels over any of their wheels. Finn_Halewood asked this, and I just love Eagle Radix wheels. They're the best. They are literally the fastest wheels on the scooter market, and I'm not just saying that because I'm sponsored by them. Like, I'm literally saying that because I truly and genuinely believe that. And yeah, Eagle Radix wheels all the way, no doubt.
As you can imagine, my favorite wheels are road wheels. MG Scoots asks, where did you grow up? I grew up in Amarillo, Texas for 19 years, and then I moved to California 2 years ago.
I was born in Chicago, moved to Denver when I was 2, and then when I was 14, I moved to the San Francisco Bay Area, and then when I was 19, I moved to Escondido. No, I was 20.
You were 20?
Yeah, when I was 20, I moved to Escondido, California, and moved to with Clayton.
Hi.
Best memory in the house. All right.
Ooh.
My favorite memory in the house was probably when we bought airsoft guns for the first time.
I was about to say that.
And we just, I swear we just shot everything in the entire house. We literally have like broken light switches in the house from the airsoft gun. We got into this like gnarly airsoft war at like 2 a.m. one night, and the neighbor was so mad. He was so mad, he like came upstairs because we were screaming and everything, and I guess our floor is like really thin. Like anytime anyone comes over, anyone that's came over before, ask them and they'll be like, yeah, all they ever say is take off your shoes and don't just walk hard. But really, in reality, like we can't walk hard. So you can imagine when a table flips over at 2 a.m. the neighbor was not hyped. What was your favorite memory?
I think one of my favorite memories, I have like a bunch, but the one that I can think of right now is when we bought Mandy. You can see her in the background, she's sleeping right now. When we bought Mandy, me and Will, it's when I used to have a sunroof from my old car. And so what we did is like we put Mandy out the window. Okay, no. It was really weird, but we went to the sex shop and had to buy this sex doll, and it was like the most awkward thing ever. And like there was just weird people in there, like the most weird things.
The strangest people on earth.
Yeah, and like it's a weird place. Like I don't want to go back. So we buy the sex doll and then like go and we have it out the sunroof and we're driving around and like turning towards people and we're like mobbing by people, and it was so funny. And then we just like had it in the house, and then it kind of just turned into like a really big. That was hilarious, I will say. My turn. Urza_Garnet asked, why haven't you quit scootering? I haven't quit scootering because I think it's really fun. You can be very creative with it. It's hard to get bored of it because there's so many things you can do. There's always something new to learn. With scootering, it's not like how it is with other sports that you get to a point where you have to basically kill yourself to progress. And like with scootering, you can just be creative as hell and do like whatever trick you can think of.
Ben_YY says, why did you guys buy a house together? Basically, from like my point of view, I feel like the main reason we got like a house together. So most of you guys growing up, you guys have like brothers and sisters, but something that you like need to know about like Clay and I, and we've been only children our entire lives. Basically, growing up on like my behalf, I always kind of had like a really good friend that I like spent a lot of my time with, and I'm sure Clayton was the same way.
Yeah.
Basically, since we were like both only children, we just thought, dude, why not get a house with like your best friend? So we basically just got this like apartment together because it's like we're like best friends, and like we just decided to have a trap house. I don't know, just have like tons of girls over and throw tons of parties, which we haven't really thrown any parties. We've had several women over, but not a lot of parties.
No. We've had like
we've had like little parties, but like
my 21st birthday. It's tight.
It was this.
Lit, bro.
Basically, the reason we got a house together is we thought like it would be a very like good environment to be around each other so much, just because we both have the same drive and we both have the same passion towards like scootering. So we're just kind of living in this house right now, making YouTube videos and just trying to progress the scooter community.
And you have to make your own food.
You have to make your own food.
Come on.
Every single day.
Every day!
Like the first week is cool, you're like, oh, I'm going to the grocery store, I'm buying whatever I want. And then after that, you're just kind of like, Mom, buy me this.
Yeah.
I don't know what I actually want.
Respect your parents for making you food every single day.
Seriously, like you take that for granted so much, but jeez, I miss that.
Since Will answered my part, basically. Alright, Will. So, Corey_Skater_Short wants to know what's our favorite memory together.
I would say Clayton and I's best memory together.
Dude, I honestly don't know.
I'll just tell like a few like funny memories. One of the times at Woodward, shoot, I don't know. I'm with this kid too much.
I know. We literally spend every day together, so this question's actually hard.
And it's like, and let me just answer you this. You might be watching this with your best friend. I don't know. You're probably just watching this by yourself. I don't know. But like, the idea of living with your best friend is sick. But like, just make sure you can like actually spend time with them, because there's been times where I just want to like rip Clayton's head off, and there's been times where I'm sure he's wanted to do the same. So it's like, yeah, it's just like you're gonna get sick of each other at times, and you have to like realize that.
It's like an old married couple.
Don't say that. I'm trying to make this sound like, I'm trying to like...
The least gay as possible?
Yes.
Okay, alright. Not like an old married couple.
Just don't even put this in. I'm gonna edit this now that you're saying that.
One of my favorite memories, I will say, is when it was like one of the first times that I met Will. It was like probably like the second or third time. When I was trying the Buttercup drop-in into the Mega Rank quarter. I don't know, Will's basically been there for all the like scariest moments of my life. Like he's been there for the Buttercup, the 270 Buttercup, the like hand plant back scoot I did over like the roller, and then, oh, there's another big one. There's more. There's plenty more. Well, actually, I guess I can't really talk about the other ones because, you know, like unreleased. But Juna Romulus said rotor versus full.
Alright, rotor versus full. I personally think rotor whips are easier only because I naturally downside bar, which means I bar spin the opposite way that I whip. So in that sense, it's easier for me because it's a natural bar spin that I've been doing longer, and a natural tail whip, which I've been doing longer than a heel whip. So obviously a rotor whip is easier. But next behind that, I honestly feel like a full whip is easier as a rotation than a rotor whip, only because you can see the full whip and like you can see if it's kind of like messing up or not. But a rotor whip is kind of blind because it's like the bars of the whip are spinning against each other, so you don't really know if it's coming around until like the last second, until you understand how they feel. But like at first I would say full whips are easier. It took me like 2 months to learn how to like rotor whip good, and then it took me a week to learn how to full whip good. So, and that's with an opposite bar spin. So, MT Richardson says, how do you meet other scooter riders in the industry? Basically, when I got into scootering, I knew 0 scooter riders. I mean, I knew no scooter riders, like none. Besides from my friend Keelan, you can go follow him at Wine Coop. And this is the only scooter rider I knew, and I basically just worked my way of just knowing people through online, knowing people through like social media, and just knowing people through that kind of thing. And it's like, it's kind of funny because people are always like, Will, like, you know everyone. At one point in time, I was the same age and like, I guess like the same rank as, like there was a point in time where Clayton and I both had 2,000 followers on Instagram, followed each other, and we're just like, yo dude, it's sick to be on the farm together. Or even before that, you just gotta realize not all scooter riders are big at one time, so as long as you stick with your friends and stick with like the people you know online, there's a good chance they're gonna become popular, and if they become popular, there's a good chance if you're on your grind, you're gonna become popular as well. So just stay on it. You'll eventually know everyone, because the up-and-coming riders right now will eventually be the main pros at some point, so you just gotta stay aware of that.
Lewis_Smith1512 said, what sponsors have you had? So basically from the start, my first sponsor was Cryptic Pro Scooters, and that was when I was in Amarillo. And then my second sponsor was 5-Star Scooters. Was still on Cryptic and 5-Star, and then I left Cryptic for the Scooter Farm, and then I left 5-Star for Grit, and then I left Grit for Root, and then stuck with the Scooter Farm. The Scooter Farm's tight.
For my sponsors, I have, my first sponsor was Scooter Farm, and I got put on as a photographer. And then through that, I got put on Eagle as a photographer. And then I got put on District as a photographer. And then there I worked my way through AM, semi-pro, and then I just got on District Pro. Gone all the way from photographer to pro rider, which I'm pretty stoked on. Like, it's been a dream come true, honestly. Now I'm sponsored by S1 Helmets, which is a skate company. Then I'm sponsored by this water company called Alkaline Water. They're not really doing much right now, but one of my good friends is the TM, so I was like, yeah, I'm down. And that's all. Undialed, that's the last sponsor.
The girl that requested this video, Marley.Ramirez, which we met her in Utah. She said, when did you first fall in love with scooters? P.S. I love you and Will, heart, heart. Well, I first fell in love with scooters in August of 6 years ago, 2012, 2011, something like that. I'm not gonna do math. I failed math, so don't quote me on that. It's one of those. But that's like when I started riding. I used to ride bikes, skateboards, wakeboard, whatever. I guess like I did kind of everything, rode dirt bikes and stuff, but I thought scootering was way more fun than all of it, so in August of 2012, 2011 is when I felt.
I got involved in scootering my freshman year in high school, or my first freshman year in high school. I did freshman year twice because I moved from Colorado to California and my credits didn't transfer over, so I was like, by default I had to redo it. I started scootering my first freshman year, so that was 6 years, 7 years, 6.5 years ago, I don't even know. Right now, I'm gonna answer 2 questions because they kind of go hand in hand. The first one is, who is your first friend involved in scootering? By Scuda Felix, he says, who was your first friend involved in scootering? And then another question is asked, why did you choose scootering? My first friend, and these kind of questions go hand in hand because they're very similar. Basically, I got into scootering, it sounds so dumb, but I got into scootering through fingerboarding, like out of all things. I used to be like a professional fingerboarder before a scooter rider. I had a friend named Keelan, I mentioned him earlier in the video, his Instagram is WineCoop, and we basically skated and fingerboarded every single day growing up. That was just what we did, we just skated around, we skateboarded around, and we just did that. And then one day we kind of just picked up scooters as a joke because his board got ran over by a van, and we just started scootering since then. We both got like Razor Ultra Pros and we just started shredding. It was so fun, like those were like the best of times. And then why I chose scootering, I personally chose scootering because scootering I just feel is like the sickest action sport in all sense. It's the sickest in my opinion because it's so lame to society. I honestly feel like a scooter ride. Sorry, the camera died. But basically what I'm trying to say is like, I think scooter riders are like the coolest type of people just because like you're not like born in scootering being cool. You have to like earn your coolness and you have to earn your respect. And also scooter riders have this like, I feel like every single scooter rider, even the ones that I have like a little bit of beef with, there's still something in their head that makes them okay with riding a scooter. And like that okayness just makes them like a sick person. It just means they don't really care about what people think. So that's why I think scooter riders are the sickest people.
I definitely agree with that. My phone just died, so we're gonna use Will's.
Alright, JMK.Scoot says, what is your favorite park you have ever ridden at?
My favorite park probably be, I think either Claremont, honestly. I really like Claremont. PQ, which is also down the street, and Calundra, which is Ryan Williams local. That park is so good, and he is so lucky to have that as a local. But like those three parks are probably like some of my favorite. I have a few more that I've ridden before, and I just can't think of them offhand, like Railbender in Colorado. That park is good. I don't have a favorite park, I guess you could say, but I have like multiple parks that I would gladly go to again. But Railbender, solid park.
Alright, my favorite park that I've ever been to, that I've ever ridden, probably would be like Arvada Skate Park in Colorado. That one's really good. Epic Skate Park, which is closed now, it used to be in Sacramento. And I had a lot of good times at like Lake Cunningham Skate Park. That was really fun. So one of those parks was probably my favorite. Or Woodward. Woodward's amazing. A lot of people always ask who's taller between us. I'm significantly taller than Clayton. I'm 6'2".
I'm like 5'10", 5'11", something like that.
So I'm definitely taller. And the last question,
Last question. I saw this on my phone quite a bit. A lot of people were wondering if there's going to be Undialed World Tour or a road trip or something like that. The World Tour, I don't know if that's ever going to be a thing because that's pricey and it's expensive, very expensive. So if someone's down to pay for it, oh, there's an Undialed World Tour. Like, believe me, there's going to be a world tour, but we don't have that. And so if anyone's willing to, you know, help us out. There's a road trip. Aren't sure of the dates. Like specifically, we are trying to do it sometime in August. Hopefully, we will be going to a few states like Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, Nevada, all that good stuff, and probably some other places. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to follow Undialed and check all that stuff out to see when we post about it, which we will be posting about it soon. And
if you guys want to see a part 2 to this video, because there was 1,400 comments, so there's so many questions that got answered. If you guys want to see a part 2, just comment down below on this video that you watched it and that you want to see a part 2. And we might do a part 2. That's about it. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at WhiteTrashWilly. Make sure to follow him at Clayton Lindley. Make sure to follow Undialed TV as well. And catch you tomorrow, guys. Peace out.
Peace.